Coming up on The Outlier.
This is an NBC News special report. Terror in Boston. Here's Brian Williams.
Boston bombings, 4 killed, countless injured after 2 bombs exploded during the Boston Marathon. Details have been conflicting, but we'll have the latest.
Chaos in Texas. Another explosion happened just days after Boston, this time at a fertilizer plant in the Lone Star State. The video is unbelievable. How did this happen? We'll tell you that and much more now on The Outlier. Welcome once again to The Outlier. This is our final show of the semester. I'm Sam Kukulis.
And I'm Mike Smith. I think all the excitement wore me down because my throat is not doing too well, but I will power through because we have a lot to cover.
That's right. What a week it was. From Boston to Texas, we've got it all covered.
On Monday, 2 explosives detonated at the finish line of the Boston Marathon. 3 people were killed and more than 140 injured.
And look at the reaction. Wow.
So it's been over a week and we know a lot more than we did on April 15th. In a nutshell, here's how it went down. The explosions were set off by 2 brothers from Russia. On Thursday, the FBI released photos of the 2 suspects. Late Thursday night, police responded to a call on the MIT campus where university police officer 26-year-old Sean Collier was shot. He died from his injuries Friday. Authorities say the 2 suspects hijacked a car at gunpoint, taking the driver hostage. The hostage was later released at the gas station. Police tracked the vehicle using a built-in GPS, which led them on a high-speed chase into a residential neighborhood in Watertown. The suspects threw explosives and fired shots at officers along the way. Police fired back and killed the other older brother, identified as Tamrin Tsarnaev. Friday night, Boston police announced they had suspect number 2 in custody. The Boston Police Department tweeted, "Captured with 3 exclamation points. The hunt is over, the search is done, the terror is over, and justice has won. Suspect in custody."
That is right. Suspect number 2, if you are just turning on right now, suspect number 2 has been arrested after a long negotiation and a stand-up outside of Franklin Street in Watertown.
The question remains, how did they catch the guy? Thank you, Dave Henenberry.
But what happened was after they lifted the ban, my neighbor, Dave Henneberry, is the one that lives there. He went out to the yard to get some fresh air, and he has his 24-foot boat on a trailer with a winter cover, a shrink wrap cover on it. He lifted up the zip cover, and he as he went up to the ladder, he noticed blood, and then he thought he saw what looked like a body laying in the boat. So he got out of the boat fast and called the police.
All of this within 5 days.
While the attack in Boston was still fresh in everyone's minds, reports surfaced about an explosion in a small town in Texas with around 2,800 residents. The death toll from the blast is 14, 10 of which were first responders. Still no word on the cause, but there is some speculation that the ignition was from chemical gas that could have been in the air. This explosion was so powerful it could be felt 70 miles away. 200 people were injured, and Texas Governor Rick Perry says the recovery phase is just about complete. The president plans to visit West Texas on Thursday.
These explosions are terrifying enough just watching them on video. Witnessing one of them in person would be traumatizing. Imagine seeing both in person. What are the chances? I know, but that's one man's reality. Joe Birdie just crossed the finish line when the first bomb in Boston detonated. 2 days later, he was safe in his home in Texas. Maybe not as safe as he thought. His home is in Waco, close to the fertilizer plant. Fortunately for him, both he and his wife escaped the events virtually unhurt.
Millions of children and young adults around the world are without basic essentials like clothing because they simply cannot afford it. One Less Apparel is a for-profit charity base, and for every article of clothing they sell, they give one away to an underprivileged being somewhere in the world. Joining us today is co-founder of the company One Less Apparel, Greg Morrissey. So tell us a little bit about the motivation behind this.
Basically, we enjoyed growing up with the company Tom's Shoes because they were a for-profit charity company that donated, and we thought it was such a neat idea. We're like, why are they only doing shoes? So we figured, let's start a company that does clothing so that not only are these kids getting shoes, but they're getting full clothing and they don't have to go without it.
What kind of products are a part of your line so far? What do you provide?
Currently we have long sleeve and short sleeve tees, and eventually our end result is we want to have a full clothing line, even down to socks and underwear so that kids get these basic essential needs.
And you and your partner are the ones that create all of the products and such?
Yes,
That's
yes,
awesome.
we do the design and everything.
And you told me earlier that your partner is out of state, so walk me through a day in the life of a co-founder.
We do speak on the phone at least once a week, and that way we line up every task that we have to do during the week. So whether it be contacting the print company or contacting legal services, we make sure that we each have our tasks, and then we either Facebook message or text each other throughout the week just to make sure we're
Now
staying
with
on top of our
iPhones, I'm sure
tasks.
you're always in constant communication.
Constantly. So
How often are you bouncing ideas off each other? I'm sure it's
all the time. Every time we speak, it's, oh, this company's doing this. Oh, that's neat. Let's try that. Let's see.
kind of putting your own spin on things that are already going on as inspiration.
And it's very beneficial that we both have similar aspirations. So, I mean, it's a lot easier to communicate with him.
Awesome. So you are an early developing company, and I know that you're starting out right now. Tell us a little bit about what you plan for the future. You said that you wanted to develop a line for kids to deliver clothing, socks, all that kind of stuff. So where exactly do you want to donate in the future, and how do you want to put your name out there?
We originally wanted to go around the world, but we realized that a lot of people forget about the country we live in. So we want to start out in the U.S. and help areas, and obviously we wouldn't be donating a tank top to a person in Chicago in December. So that's why we want like long sleeves and jackets for them and cater to certain areas, and then eventually when we become a bigger company, branch out to other countries.
Definitely keeping in mind where you came from and what's important.
Absolutely.
How long did it take the company to pick up, and how have you networked?
It's been surprisingly easy and quick. I thought it was going to take a long time because you always hear companies taking years to develop, and we started out in November, and since then we've gotten a lot done and marketed with, he's at BYU of Idaho, and me being at Arizona State, there's so many people to network with and communicate with to get your name out.
And social networking must help.
It's incredible. I mean, I don't know how companies survived back in the day, but now it's, I mean, I can contact people states away just by
It's
clicking
so
a button.
convenient now. Tell us a little bit about the social media platforms that you're on.
We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at One Less Apparel. And we're basically just trying to get the name out there and let people know who we are and what our mission is, and hopefully we can get that going.
And you and your friend are the ones that manage everything right now, huh?
As of now, we do. And eventually, when we become a bigger company, we'll hire people to manage that full-time, because that is a full-time job.
That's fabulous.
So.
You can check out One Less Apparel at www.onelessapparel.com. Together, we can make one less a state of mind.
More about how last week was such a crazy news week. Someone sent letters with the poison ricin to the president, a senator, and a Mississippi judge. The FBI searched the home of a second man in connection with the letters. He says he's innocent and knows nothing about the ingredients for ricin. A first suspect was released from custody Tuesday, but authorities did not say why. His attorney says he may have been framed. Ricin is a naturally occurring and highly toxic protein. It grows in castor oil plants. It can be a bean or ground into powder.
A group calling themselves the Syrian Electronic Army claimed responsibility for hijacking major Twitter accounts this week. The AP account was hacked Tuesday morning, stating a false breaking tweet reading, "2 explosions in the White House and Barack Obama is injured." CBS News, including 60 Minutes, 48 Minutes, and CBS Denver, were suspended after being compromised earlier in the week.
With a check of the other headlines, we turn to Mariah Hurst with your PDQ News.
Thanks, Mike. The Senate announced Thursday major gun legislation will be indefinitely shelved following the defeat of a compromise to expand background checks. The debate is expected to resurface in 2014 with the U.S. Senate elections. At least 26 are dead and dozens are wounded after a suicide bomber detonated explosives at a crowded Baghdad cafe on Thursday. This is one incident in a series of violent attacks leading up to the provincial elections that were held this past weekend. In China, 17 people are dead as investigators believe a new strain of bird flu is being passed between humans. Authorities have slaughtered thousands of birds and closed some poultry markets to slow the rate of human infection. Although many aspects of the new bird flu remain a mystery, researchers do know many of the people who tested positive had no contact with the poultry. The southwestern region of China experienced a 6.6 magnitude earthquake that has devastated the country. 208 are dead and about 1,000 are injured. Relief workers are moving quickly to provide food, water, shelter, and other crucial supplies to the people that were affected. Sunday, a fire in the San Gabriel Mountains forced about 200 homes to evacuate. The fire began in a backyard from gardening. It covers 175 acres of the Southern California city. The fire is expected to be fully contained. The Boy Scouts of America are proposing to lift the exclusion of homosexuals within the organization. They will allow gay youths, but will continue to ban gay leaders. They released a statement saying, quote, "Youth should not be denied the benefits of scouting." Canadian officials arrested 2 suspects they believe planned to blow up a rail line between Toronto and New York City on Monday. Officials say the plan was not linked to the Boston Marathon bombings of last week. That's a look at the headlines. Now back to Sam.
Have you ever seen this man? Well, according to thisman.org, over 2,000 people have seen his face in recurring dreams, although they have never seen him in waking life. The website claims that this man helps people through difficult times or makes life decisions in their dreams. As it turns out, the site is actually the creation of Italian sociologist and marketer Andrea Nutella. He stages hoaxes and creates weird art projects exploring pornography, politics, and advertising. But after seeing this man's face, maybe you'll see him tonight. Sweet dreams.
If you ever want to get away from it all, but you just can't seem to get far enough away, NASA's got some good news for you. 3 planets have been discovered that are just the right distance from their star that it's not too hot or not too cold. It's basically Goldilocks/Earth. What makes Earth hospitable is what makes these new planets hospitable. Liquid water is possible. These planets are called Kepler 62e and F and Kepler 69c. They're all larger than Earth, but not by more than twice the size. A member of NASA's research team says these planets are by far the best candidates for life. You interested? Good luck getting there. The Kepler 62 star is 1,200 light years away, while the Kepler 69 star is 2,700 light years away. 1 light year is about 6 trillion miles.
With all the latest online trends, we turn to Devin Conley. Hi, Devin.
Thanks, Sam. Fans of the hit 90s sitcom Friends will unfortunately not be seeing much of the loved group sit on that old orange couch in Central Perk. The report started months ago after rumors spread across social media. Last week, it really hit up when a major Latin American news outlet reported that NBC had confirmed a full season order of the show. NBC confirmed with Entertainment Weekly that a Friends reunion is not in the works. Fans have been begging for a reunion ever since the 10-season run ended in 2004. But according to the show co-creator Mara Kaufman, Friends was about the time in your life when your friends were your family, and once you have family, there's no need anymore. Boston hockey fans united for the first major sporting event Wednesday night since the city was attacked last Monday. Boston Bruins fans delivered an emotional rendition of the national anthem, one that will never be forgotten. Singer Rene Rancourt started the anthem by himself, but as the volume from the singing crowd increased, Rancourt lowered his microphone, allowing for the fans' voices to fill the arena. Take a look.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as sunrise that stream?
Jimmy Kimmel's latest Live Witness News segment took place at the Coachella Music Festival last weekend, where he had a correspondent ask festival goers their opinions on bands that did not exist. Kimmel, known for his funny pranks, opened his segment by explaining to his viewers that music fans love knowing about bands that no one else has heard of. To test his theory, he sent in a camera crew and asked people walking into the venue what they thought about a bunch of bands whose names were made up. Here's a look.
One of my favorite bands this year is Dr. Shlomo and the GI Clinic.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they're always amazing.
Yeah, he's really good on the flex sig.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see them live. I think that's going to be one of the bands that's going to be really great
Definitely
live.
a highlight.
Yeah. Have you heard of Shorty Jizzle and the Plumber Cracks?
Yep.
What do you like about them? Like how raw they are?
Yeah, they're really unique, for sure.
Are you guys as excited as I am about the obesity epidemic?
I just like their whole style, like their whole genre is just great. They're kind of like very like innovative and they're new.
There's some smaller bands that are playing.
Yeah.
Two Door Cinema Club.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them.
They're good. Yeah. Do you like their album DJ Cornmeal?
Yeah, actually, I had a radio show on a community radio station up in Canada, and I used to spin them all the time.
Oh, wow. Sounds like a great show.
Yeah.
And that's what's trending. Back to you.
And now with some unconventional international news headlines, we turn to Kelsey Tardillo. Hey, Kels.
Hi, Sam. Kia ora to New Zealand as it becomes the first country in the Asia-Pacific region to legalize same-sex marriage. Political party leaders encourage lawmakers to disregard party lines and to vote based on their conscience. New Zealand has allowed civil unions for same-sex couples since 2005, but the new law allows these couples to jointly adopt children and validates their marriages in other countries. TGIF could soon take on a whole new meaning in Saudi Arabia. Instead of starting on Thursday, they propose to begin the two-day weekend on Friday, the Muslim Sabbath. Saudi businesses have been lobbying for the change for several years, despite a similar idea failing in 2007. The proposal still has to pass through the Council of Ministers and the Royal Court before taking effect. But if it does, the Saudi commercial schedule will match that of large commercial cities such as Dubai. 3 software engineering students at the University of Iceland have created the Islendiga app to provide incest prevention. In an isolated population of 320,000, the app will determine if the person you're interacting with romantically is related to you. Users simply need to bump phones and an alarm will sound if they are related. Or, more candidly put in its slogan, bump the app before you bump in bed. Currently, the alarm only alerts users if they have a common grandparent, which may not be as helpful for more distant relations. The app is currently unavailable on the iPhone. And that's what's going on in the world. Back to you.
One of the FBI's most wanted, Eric Toth, was arrested in Nicaragua for alleged child pornography offenses. The ex-teacher is accused of possessing a school camera with indecent images of children and producing child porn in Maryland. Toth, who traveled to Central America illegally with fake identification, replaced Osama bin Laden on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. As finals week is around the corner, we at the Outlier wanted to shed some light on an incredible academic organization. Life Pieces to Masterpieces was established in 1998 with one mission: to provide opportunities for African American boys and young men in Greater Washington, D.C. by developing character, unlocking their potential, and empowering them to transform their lives and communities. The program creates a unique curriculum stressing self-awareness through positive decision-making. The program connects students to themselves and classmates by creating homework, artwork, and poems. They contribute by sharing their work with the greater community and celebrate their success. The impact: 90% of participants see improved GPAs and 100% of their students graduate from high school and have been accepted to college or post-secondary training. LPTM provides those in a city with the highest rate of poverty in the U.S. with the opportunity to succeed. So I guess that's it. Nice tie, by the way.
Thanks. It's an Eldridge knot. I'll post a link on the Facebook page, facebook.com/theoutlier.
You have to. You have to.
Same for Twitter.
By the way, how's that Tinder thing going?
That's all for today. We'll be back next semester. I'm Mike Smith.
And I'm Sam Kukulis. Why be normal when you could be an outlier?